Revenue has a long history of probably espousing the three pillars of the Better Public Service strategy. So digital innovation at scale is something we have done for a long time, launching our Revenue online service back in 2000 when people said no one would file a tax return online, and now about 99% of all tax returns are done online. So what we're looking to do in the digital space is make it as easy as possible for people to meet their tax and customs obligations, and actually make it as hard as possible not to meet them. So you use digital and integrate business systems of records with revenue systems of records. You get the data where it's created first, and that reduces, scope for error and omission, but it also reduces any burden on taxpayers. We also try and obviously cater for those who are not digitally literate. We try and assist them as much as possible. We provide a lot of outreach as well, and we have a transition year programme on kind of tax literacy and customs literacy, so to help people be ready for when they get their first job. Obviously the workforce of the future is also really important to us, and I often think the skills and talents we'll need tomorrow aren't the skills and talents we're hiring today. So we need to really think about, with the advent of things like AI, machine learning, even into quantum computing, what are the types of skills? What is the tax professional of the future when AI can do a lot of the computation for you or could do a lot of the service for you? Because technology will do what technology is good at. But what skills we will need is the judgment, the decision making, the empathy, the understanding, the collaboration. Revenue is very data rich. We collect a huge amount of data, and that's really important in supporting our colleagues in the Department of Finance in informed policy making and understanding the impacts of policy. And all of that feeds into this whole of government approach, which is really important because we need to make sure we collect data once and use it many times, and again in line with the strategy and very much customer centric. We have a long history of using new technology and really have to go back to what's your mission and then make sure you're using technology to aid you in the delivery of your mission, so you don't use technology for technology's sake. AI is a word that covers a wide variety of, computer-based processing. So we're looking at how we provide access to information to both our staff and taxpayers and tax practitioners. So we have a huge amount of curated documentation in our guidelines and things we call our tax and duty manuals. We've actually trained AI only on those tax and duty manuals so that we can have a user interface where someone can ask a question like, what's the VAT rate on solar panels? Or when do I have to pay capital gains tax if I sell my shares? And then you can get a tailored response to that. What's really important in terms of our organisation is that everyone has AI literacy, and that's really important. And we're rolling out training for everyone at the moment. And that's from the top down and the bottom up. I think also as a leadership team we need to display a vision for how AI can actually transform the organisation. It's easy to say how AI could streamline what we currently do or how it could give us efficiencies in our current process. I think the real power is in the transformation. Like the strategy says, you have to put the customer at the centre, and okay, we all have our names in our own departments and our own organisations. A lot of people just see us as government. So they will say, why did I tell the Department of Social Protection something and now Revenue are asking me for the same thing? Can I not just tell them once? So I do think you need to look at where's the primary source of data. So Social Protection has all our registrations, probably should have all our names and addresses, our date of births and all of that. And why would Revenue ask for that information again? So I think we need to look to share that information across government. Change is the only constant at the moment. And in some ways you have to embrace that fact that there's change, but actually change is difficult for people and it's hard. And I suppose as a leader, what you're trying to do is at least communicate the impact of that change, maybe try and unravel a bit of the complexity for people, but actually also say we don't know everything. there isn't an oracle anymore, or there isn't a kind of a 5-year plan that we can live by. And I think we need to be honest and open with our staff around that. We need to build that kind of collaboration. And I always say resilience is between us. So it's in working in our teams across the organisation that we can have organisation resilience. We have shown in the past that we've been able to stand up to any of the things, be it COVID, be it Brexit, be it cost of living crisis, and I know we'll be able to do it in the future.